I'm super excited to say that I get to interview the author of this great book, Dr. Sam Nix, on the Time for Teachership podcast for a second time. So this book, 6 Steps to a Strong School Culture, is awesome, and I want to share with you over the next few videos, actually, some of the resources inside there. This first one is a reflective activity for teachers and leaders to think about really what is your orientation? What are the ways that your actions are communicating to students that you're here to learn and learn with them, or that maybe you're trying to do the teacher thing in the way that teacher school a la don't smile until Christmas kind of imposed on you, and it actually doesn't align to your values and isn't really effective. So let's check out some of the prompts from this video. This is the reproducible that you can get at the link I'm providing in today's description. This is from Dr. Nix's book, and it's a reflective activity. So it's really asking where is your focus, and you kind of have this T-chart of when we are focused on teaching, we believe things like respect is earned, or we believe things like my students need to understand me. I am a person who answers questions in my role as a teacher. Assessments are used to monitor learning. The lessons come from the teacher, right? I emphasize correct answers, right? These are all the traditional kind of teacher mindsets. And there's space for you to be able to reflect on I'm feeling this versus kind of the focused on learning column, and space to kind of jot some notes or process your thinking around this. So I envision this being a cool PD activity. I envision this in an instructional coaching cycle, something that teachers can do independently, something that leaders can do. But I think there's a lot of good stuff here. And then you can kind of think about next steps from there based on the ones you want to expand or move from the teaching category to the learning category. So let's look at some of the learning options. I'm going to make these a little bit bigger for you here. Sorry about that. So focused on learning is, respect is given. I'm always going to give my students respect, and it doesn't matter what I'm receiving from them. I am the adult here. I am going to give respect because I'm going to make sure that I do that in an effort to kind of learn about my students, create the culture of learning for them, believing that when they receive respect, they will also learn better and show respect to me. And if they don't, I'm going to continue showing respect. Student demonstration of mastery should be awarded full credit. It doesn't matter if it's turned in a month late. They can do the thing. The whole thing about assessment is really can you do the thing? Great, you can do it. Doesn't matter if it's late or not, right? And I think, we can get into a lot of nuance there about are you grading for timeliness in terms of another skill that you're working on, and that becomes a graded component right there. That's a whole other episode. It's my responsibility to ensure students are learning. I need to understand my students versus my students need to understand me. I'm always going to start with the why, right? I think about all the students who have asked, why are we learning this? I often ask that in math class or thought it. I don't know if I was the kid who actually asked this out loud. Maybe I did. Super important to know that answer. I always engage in discussion pertaining to evidence of student learning, right? I am interested. I am asking questions. I am seeking answers. I am listening to students around this, right? I am listening to my colleagues, wanting feedback, wanting to grow, wanting to learn. These things should be student-driven, right? All the lessons. Assessments are really used to diagnose what I need to, as a teacher, to do next. And we are elevating assessment. Through assessment, students are learning, they're reflecting. I probe reflective thinking in others, contrasting the teaching column, which is about answering and offering advice, having the answer, and then establishing a culture of collaboration and support versus competitiveness or ranking based on traditional grading structures, and then emphasizing generating better questions, learning from mistakes. Mistakes are great. That's how we learn, right? We want to be curious and lean into that. So I just absolutely love this list. Love it as a reflective prompt. And then again, thinking about instructional leadership, naming or having teachers name, this is the place that I want to focus, and then you kind of coaching them to think about how we can improve that. I just absolutely love this reflective prompt for teachers and leaders. Feel free to engage with it. Let us know what you think, and get Dr. Nix's book. It's so good.